John here, back with another review for the Keanu-thon, and today talking about and reviewing Sweet November, 2001 film with Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron, and directed by Pat O'Connor. Now, Pat O'Connor, same director of The January Man, which I do have somewhere. I know that that's with Kevin Kline. I haven't seen the film, so I don't know. Maybe somebody can let me know about that one. And some other films which I've never heard of, like Fools of Fortune. But in this film, the plot, you have our main character, Nelson, who's played by Keanu Reeves. And it's kind of your, typical love story, which is why I'm not the greatest at reviewing these type of films. And for one, because one, it's not a go-to genre. I've said that before with Walk in the Clouds, reviewing that. And I know coming up later, going to review Something's Gotta Give and The Lake House, so, which I don't mind The Lake House. But, with this story, you have our main character Nelson, who's played by Keanu Reeves. He's a workaholic. And one day bumps into Charlize Theron. And, they start to, Charlize Theron's character, she becomes attached to Keanu Reeves to the point where, she would visit his apartment and stuff, or, try to get rides off of Keanu Reeves. And they start to develop a thing for each other. And that's where, soon enough, Keanu, long story short, loses his job. He's a, advertiser. And then Charlize Theron's like, hey, look, you can live with me for a month, be my November. I can change you, make you a better person. No strings attached. No strings attached. And, no pressure. But what neither of them didn't count on is, falling for one another. And so, again, it's kind of the plot of the film. But the film itself, Sweet November, and again, like I said before, it's a little, because it's not a go-to genre, it's tough to review these type of films. I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. Okay, performances, Keanu Reeves, I know, I was kind of reading some of the reviews that, Keanu's bad in this movie. I wouldn't say Keanu's the problem. The one scene that did make me chuckle, which to me was the best scene of the film, and you can actually find this on YouTube, is this whole pitch scene where he's an advertiser and he's throwing out this pitch about hot dogs, and he's showing these different, what do you call it? Posters for hot dogs, and, it's a hot dog. That's the best scene in the film. Made me laugh because Keanu's kind of going over the top with it. And, again, just, it's a hot dog. And just see for yourself, the clips on YouTube. It's, again, the funniest scene of the film. But again, Keanu's not the problem, I don't think. Charlize Theron, I've always liked Charlize Theron. Great actress. She was great in Monster, which would come out a year or two after this film. I know she was in Mad Max Fury Road, Mighty Joe Young. I haven't seen Atomic Blonde yet, but I do have the film. But, I do like Charlize Theron. I thought she was fine. I didn't mind her in the film. Other supporting cast in the film, you have Jason Patric, the bad guy from The Patriot. He's in the film, but I don't know what was up with this character. He's a friend of Charlize Theron, but it's kind of part of the story where Charlize Theron makes, that she wants to make Keanu a better person for the month of November. Again, no strings attached, and, you can't fall in love or whatever. That Charlize Theron wants Keanu to give up, because he loses his job. What else is he going to do? Live with Charlize Theron for a month, and then after that month, Charlize Theron would dump Keanu and go and find another poor schmuck to play. So in a weird way, the plot, I'm kind of getting away from the cast. The plot's kind of like shallow. I don't know, just it's like, okay, I'm gonna fix this guy for a month, dump him, and then work on another guy. And in between that month and during that month, we can have all the sex in the world and all this stuff. And I know it's a romance film. I get that. You gotta suspend, turn off your brain a little bit. But come on. I mean, what is Keanu? The thing is, what is Keanu loses his job. Do you really expect for a guy to not look for a job during the month, for a whole month and not, just not do anything? I mean, you just want to just keep him. It's kind of like quarantine. This is like a quarantine movie. It's basically what it is. It's a quarantine love story. So there you go. Just now thinking about that. But again, going back to Jason Patric, his character in the film. So this Charlize Theron did she and Jason Patric? It's weird because were there a thing before? Was he like Mr. October or Mr. September, whatever? And then you have another scene where Jason Patric's in drag. So it's like, is he bisexual or what's going on here? Then Michael Rosenbaum's in the film. And he's supposedly the partner of Jason Patric. And there's a scene where they're both in drag. And they invite Keanu over for dinner with Charlize Theron. So Michael Rosenbaum's in this film. I didn't see him coming. I like Michael Rosenbaum, but yeah. So he's in the film. So I was like, hey, Michael Rosenbaum, but he's in drag. And, I don't know, like... And I know this is based on a remake that they done this like back in 1968, which I haven't seen. And the writer like of the film, Kurt Volker, I don't know what else he's written. And then like you find out in the film too that Charlize Theron's character, that she has cancer or something like that. As time goes on, where Keanu gets more attached, kind of realizing the error of his ways, so to speak. He becomes attached to Charlize Theron, and again, you find out she has cancer, and she's taking all this medication, where like a whole cabinet of drugs. So she's on drugs for her disease, and then by the end of the film, because there's this thing in the film where Charlize Theron would put a blindfold on Keanu Reeves. So by the end, she's like, she wants to leave Keanu, that, Keanu has a thing for her, but, she wants to walk away. So she puts a blindfold on Keanu Reeves and, that you can find me, find me if you can or whatever. And then her character disappears. It's like, did she die? Like, because the film ends with them in the park. Keanu has a blindfold on, and when he takes it off, she's gone. So it's like, what was that about? Did her character die? Did she just walk off to the beach or something? It's the ending is weird. I don't know what was up with that ending. Again, did she die? It's like they didn't explain that. Again, because she has cancer or whatever in the film. And there's this one scene that I remember where Keanu does the 12 Days of Christmas. And that's another scene you could probably find on YouTube. And it's kind of, yeah, that scene, thought it was kind of mushy. But that's the thing, though. I mean, we talk about romance films. Like, there's some that I do like, whether it be Ghost or, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or, some other films. But, and again, I'm not going to say the performances are bad. It's just film that it's one of these films that I saw and, okay, saw the film once and probably not rewatchable. I get what the film's trying to do. again, it's trying to change Keanu's character. That in the beginning he doesn't really care for Charlize Theron, and he hates being nice, and he's that type of guy, shallow type. And Charlize, you know, would change his character and change who he is, and sort of make him uh, kind of find a better person deep down. But what she didn't count on was that Keanu would get attached to her and so forth. But I'm just again, it's one of these films that, while the acting's not bad, and Keanu and Charlize Theron, they have decent chemistry, because I like both Keanu and Charlize. It's like, okay, it's a likable relationship or whatever you want to call it there. But again, with this girl, even if you look at it, at the end of the day, because Charlize wants to keep Keanu inside for a month, whatever, or it's like, in a way, this girl's kind of psycho. um, but yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of wrap it up here with this review again. And then the ending of the film is weird, because it's like there's no closure. Like, what happened to this girl? Did she die? Did she succumb to her disease? Or she just take off to the beach to find some other guy to hit on for the month of December or January or February? And so, I mean, but that's kind of my review of this film. But yeah, that's my review of Sweet November. And next up, I'll be reviewing Hardball. So stay tuned for that, and have a good one.